Hello, and welcome to the Ledco Division of Graphic Laminating Professor 27-inch Laminator instructional video. This video is designed to give you a step-by-step guide to the setup and operation of your new Ledco Laminator. This video, as well as any instructional materials for the entire Ledco product line, is to be used in conjunction with your respective owner's operators' manuals to ensure years of problem-free operation. Unpacking the Laminator. Unpack your laminator by first removing the supply roll mandrels as shown here. It is now advisable to enlist the help of another person to lift the unit out of the box. Using the integral handholds on both sides of the interior packing insert, carefully lift the machine up and out of the box and place on a level work surface. Then lift the unit again as shown and remove the packing insert from underneath the machine. Return the packing insert to the box and save. Be sure to retrieve the owner's operator's manual, the power cord, the threading card, and the test sheet from the box at this time. Safety precautions. We strongly urge you to pay particular attention to all safety precautions printed in the manual, the instructional sticker on the feed tray, and all other warning labels or stickers on the machine. This machine is essentially a power tool, and very serious injury can result if safety features are ignored, removed, or compromised in any way. We suggest you invest the time to thoroughly familiarize yourself with the components, functionality, safety features, techniques, and application nuances before tackling a laminating job, especially if you're a first-timer. Never hesitate to call your dealer or Ledco for answers to any questions. Components and controls. We will now move over to the laminator and familiarize ourselves with its components and controls. Here on the top front of the machine, we have the clear Lexan safety shield. And here we have the twist lock cover latch. The twist lock cover latch is designed to activate an integral safety switch that will not allow the machine to operate without the safety shield and twist lock cover latch in the closed and locked position. Next, we have the retractable feed tray. Here we have the upper web idler and the lower web idler. And here we have the top supply roll and the bottom supply roll. Here in front we have the heated laminating rubber rollers. And in the back we have the pull rollers. Here on the right side of the machine is the roll gap control handle. This handle is used to set the rollers for regular laminating or pouch laminating. This is the speed control dial or potentiometer. Next we have the forward-reverse selector switch. The reverse mode is momentary and will only engage when manually depressed. And here we have the fan switch. The fan prevents heat wrinkling and helps ensure lamination that is smooth and flat. However, be sure to always turn the cooling fans off after each laminating run, as the machine's cooling capacity can be exceeded before its heating capacity. Located directly below the forward-reverse selector switch is the roll pouch mode selector switch. And here is the heat on-off switch. Here is the digital heat display. And here, located below the heat display, are the heat control increase and decrease buttons. Setup and operation. With the laminator on an unobstructed level surface, perform the following checkouts before threading the machine with film. Make sure the heat, fan, and drive switches are off before you plug in the machine. All respective controls are labeled accordingly. The speed control dial should be set at 0. Plug the machine into a working outlet of at least 15 amps. Plugging in the machine does not power on any control unless a switch has been left on. Plug in the machine and turn on the heat. The heat indicator lamp in the heat switch will come on. It will stay on until the machine has reached set temperature. Adjusting the heat controls. To raise the temperature, press the red button once to display the set point value screen. Then press the red button again to raise the set point value. You can hold the red button to raise the set point value rapidly. Then wait 5 seconds for actual temperature to be displayed. To lower the temperature, press the red button once to access the set point value screen. Then press the blue button to lower the set point value. Hold the blue button to decrease set point rapidly. Again, wait 5 seconds for actual temperature to be displayed. To switch from Fahrenheit to Celsius, first, hold the blue button for 5 seconds. Then use the blue button to toggle between degrees F and degrees C. Again, wait 5 seconds for actual temperature to display. When the laminator has reached the set temperature, switch the mode switch to roll, press the forward drive switch on, and rotate the speed control dial to about halfway. The pull rollers and the laminating rollers should now rotate. Insert the white threading card into the laminating rollers and watch as the threading card passes through the laminating rollers, then the pull rollers, and then out the back of the machine. Then return the speed dial to 0. Then turn off the drive switch, turn off the heat switch, put the mode selector switch in neutral, and then unplug the machine. Please note, the fans should be turned on for any laminating with 3 mil or thicker film. The Professor 27 is made to run film up to 10 mil thick. Speeds must be reduced with thicker film to ensure adequate heating and cooling of the film. Top speed on the Professor 27 is about 15 feet per minute. When the indicator line on the speed control is pointing straight up, that's half speed, or about 7 feet per minute. 5 to 7 feet per minute is a typical speed for running 3 mil or 5 mil films. Threading the laminator. Although this machine can be threaded cold, most operators feel it's easier to thread while it is warming up or already hot. The Professor 27 was designed to allow the operator to safely and easily thread the laminator while it is hot. Remove the supply roll mandrels. The supply roll mandrels are now ready to accept loading of film rolls, wound with the polyester, shiny, side out. The tension control knobs should be positioned on the right. Slide a roll of film onto the top supply roll mandrel. Make sure the dull side of the film is facing up and the shiny side is facing the heat rollers during the threading. With the roll of laminate centered on the mandrel, place it in the top bracket. Place the left side of the shaft in its slot first, then place the right side of the shaft in its slot, turning it as needed to align the hexagon bushings with their respective slot. Again, make sure the dull side of the film is facing up and the shiny side is facing the heat rollers during the threading. Review the threading diagram in your owner's operator's manual. Unlock and lift the swing-away top cover up and back. Run the film from the top mandrel under the idler bar and drape it across the top heat roller. Remember, the shiny side of the film must always go against the roller. The dull adhesive side must face away from the roller. With the top roll of film centered on the mandrel and the shiny side facing down and draped over the top heat roller, you are now ready to load the bottom supply roll mandrel. Load the bottom roll of film onto the mandrel in the same manner as the top roll. Remember, the shiny side of the film must always go against the roller. The dull adhesive side must face away from the roller. Make sure the two rolls are aligned with each other before going to the next step. Place the mandrel and film in its respective slots similar to the top. Pull the retractable feed tray up and towards you. Now run the film from the bottom mandrel under the bottom idler bar. Now drape the film from the bottom roll against the film from the top roll on the top roller. If the laminator is hot, the exposed adhesive on the top web will hold the bottom web and make it easy to stick the two webs together. If you are threading the machine while it is cold, use tape to stick the bottom web against the top web. With both rolls threaded and installed in their respective brackets, unwind the top and bottom supply rolls about a half turn each. This will provide enough slack in the web to allow the feed tray to close easily. Remember, the bottom idler bar is attached to the feed tray. If there's no slack in the web, the feed tray will be difficult to close. Note, the swing-away feed tray is held in its closed position by the upper swing-away cover. The feed tray must be closed before the top cover or the laminator will not function properly. Remember, the machine will not operate without the safety shield and twist lock cover latch in the closed and locked position. With the top cover properly locked, plug the machine back in. Close the laminating rollers to laminating position using the large knob on the right side of the unit as shown here. Put the mode switch in roll, push the drive switch to forward, and set the speed at about 1/2 on the dial. Now push your threading card into the nip gently until you feel it hit up against the rolls and film. With the film and the card in the nip, the point where the laminating rollers meet, the film and the threading card will start into the laminator and will pass through both sets of rollers. When the threading card has cleared the back of the machine, return the speed dial to 0 and turn the drive off. Laminating. If the machine is not already on and warmed up, first make sure the power cord is attached and plugged in. Turn the heat switch on and set the temperature as shown before. Note, please refer to the recommended temperature settings as outlined in your owner's operator's manual. We will be setting the temperature for around 250 degrees for the 3 mil film we are using. The laminator will be ready to operate in about 30 minutes. Check and balance the supply roll tension on both rolls. Start by loosening both knobs until there is no pressure on the springs. Tighten each knob until it just begins to press on its spring. For a preliminary adjustment, put 3 to 4 turns of tension on each knob. Once the machine has come up to temperature, you are ready to make final adjustments of the supply roll tension. With the rolls in the closed laminating position and the mode switch in roll, push the drive switch to forward and set the speed to about 1/2 on the dial. Watch the film as it passes over the heat rollers. If there is some waviness in the film at the leading edge of both rollers, supply roll tension is perfect. The leading edge would be the top of the top roller and the bottom of the bottom roller, the edges that first contact the film. If there is no waviness in the film at all, there may be too much supply roll tension. Loosen both knobs a small amount and check again. If the waviness or wrinkling extends excessively into the laminating nip, tension needs to be increased. Always keep the amount of tension the same on both rolls. Smoothness of the web, or waviness, which extends only 10 to 20% of the rollers, indicates acceptable supply roll tension. When starting the machine to begin lamination, let at least 10 inches of film go through the rollers before inserting the items to be laminated. This helps remove any irregularities in the web prior to laminating. Examine the film coming out the back of the machine and make final tension adjustments as needed. With the tension properly adjusted and all controls in appropriate laminating positions and an ample amount of film run through the machine, insert your sample piece into the nip and monitor it as it passes through the front laminating rolls, through the back pull rollers, and out the back of the machine. Laminating with pouch mounting boards. If you have not already done so, unthread the webs of roll film as shown here. With the laminator plugged in, turn on the forward drive switch and set the speed dial to about half. Grasp the scrap film at the back of the machine and remove it as it exits. Now set the roller temperature to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Open roll gap control handle to pouch position by turning clockwise until it stops completely. Switch mode selector switch to pouch laminating position. Turn the speed control potentiometer knob up to maximum speed. Assemble the item to be laminated into the mounting pouch as per supplied directions. Switch the drive switch to forward. Now insert the sealed edge into the heated roller nip and press firmly until you feel the rollers grab the mounting pouch. Once the rollers have grabbed the pouch, refrain from pushing the pouch forward as it will automatically be drawn through the laminating rollers, then the pull rollers, then out the back of the machine. After the mounting pouch passes completely through the laminator, retrieve it as it exits and lay it flat to allow it to cool for a few minutes. Remove the protective pre-mask covering if applicable. To resume normal film web lamination, turn the speed control knob to 0, switch the mode selector switch to roll position, and close the roll gap control handle. Rethread the laminator as described previously. Cleaning the rubber rolls. Cleaning the laminator daily or weekly will help prevent dirt or adhesive buildup on the rubber rolls and will improve the performance of the unit. To clean the rubber rolls, turn off and unplug the machine. Open the swing-away top cover and retractable feed tray as shown here. To more effectively clean the rubber rollers, we strongly suggest using our Cool Clean solution, available through your local Ledco dealer or Graphic Laminating. Use a clean shop rag or mildly abrasive cleaning pad such as a white Scotch-Brite pad to loosen heavy deposits of adhesive. Simply apply the Cool Clean solution to the rag or pad and rub gently to loosen the deposits of adhesive. Note, the Cool Clean solution was designed to best clean the rollers while they are cold. This also reduces the risk of burning your hands on the hot rubber rolls. You may use the reverse switch to slightly reposition the laminating rollers so that you can clean the entire surface on each roller by sections. The reverse switch is a momentary switch. The rollers will stop as soon as you take your finger off the button. Don't try to clean the rollers while they are turning. Never operate the rollers with your hands near the nip. Remember to always turn off and unplug the machine before resuming cleaning procedures. With the machine turned off and unplugged, the pull rollers can now be cleaned in the same manner.